All right. I'm watching this guy up on there, and this guy talk about you can't find. Hold up, right fast. We're gonna get into the thing right fast. I'm watching this black guy and this other guy talk about you can't find nobody guilty of this races off their sentence alone. It's by racism, by spirit. You got to look at the spirit, not always by the numbers. You must look at the spirit of reason. You got to understand it. I remember my first time working at orientation, and they got five people on the left, five people on the right sitting at the table in orientation. One at the under end of the table and one at the other end of the table. And he was this store manager at Walmart. He was telling everybody the thing, but he looked at me with racism. He laughed and smiled, and he had that look on his face with racism. You can identify those things. Okay, and then you said disability, then you said by racism. That considered racism. So it's by spirit that you are having those things. And I think the guy was totally right. He was right by the guy actions. So I'm just talking about what I just seen about the courtroom, and that was racist. It was racist because of your behavior, and plus Texas is checking law. That is racist, and you got to think at all of this stuff. It got racism out there with disability. You put disability in harm's way, and people beating disability. You putting them in harm's way. If you restricting gun laws, you putting them in harm's way. And that's the thing that people got to understand. Racism exists, and you got to let a disability have it. That's mandatory because of how people behave in the business, and they have no actions. People getting beaten, losing their life. Things are different in this world that we can even understand. Racism going on, man. So we have to understand what's the main concept of it is. Social broken telephone. Think about broken telephone. We are talking about those things. Racism actually going on. So you got to look at that's racism. That's by spirit. You telling somebody he's going through something, and the way that black society and racism society is, you telling somebody you're being racist. But the community being racist towards us and extra disability out, you can't. That's the lost thing about it. Social Security. When you talk about old covenant, and we got to understand that they want to stick by old rules where business is breaking those rules. With racism, you can't act disability to stick by rules at the Social Security, and businesses are not sticking by rules. It can't work like that. And we need to come up with something where we can start sanctuary American businesses. It's a hate crime. Hate racism against disability against black and white is happening, but you expect a disability not to defend themselves. That is racism. Now, if I was with that kid in court, I would have told my family to go to the Civil Rights Act because that is racism by association, and you got to worry about the community behavior. You got to worry about business behavior. So I think that black guy he's wrong. The guy was right. Racism by associated with disability, and people expect that how we supposed to defend ourselves. Let me tell you, you taking the business side when racism in the businesses and the police get called about business by racism, you're taking a side. So I think that black guy is his narrow of his perceptive is wrong at that, and I think that kid should actually sue that courtroom. So we have to understand it's racism. Yeah, you said I had to see something at Walmart. You got to understand what I saw out at 1216 or what I saw at Charles. I saw racism looking at me. Tiny laugh. At the same with the CEOs looked at me and smiled. They want to take my place because I'm doing good. I'm having great customer service. I'm doing all of those things. But they don't want to treat people right. What racism? You can't have it that way. If I was in the deli, I'm getting 3 customer service right. Every time I got a review in Walmart, I got good response from it. But the racism behavior from the employees. So I think that courtroom was like really, really wrong, like really. And I think that guy needs to sue his lawyer. You got to catch on to the bullshit from the lawyer. You got to see something. You got to ask. I saw something out of my lawyer. I saw the behavior. You gotta catch on to bullshit when you see it. You gotta catch on to it, man. You really gotta catch on to it. You have to have sight. Don't sit up there and let your lawyer. You know, one girl told me from the IPS, she was in a car in Dallas, and she's and I really listened to her about not, most she told me this, man. She worked for IPS. Steve was good, and Antonio was good. Steve, he was a cool guy. And the other IPS worker that she didn't come and see me, but she was in a car. And she told me, like, other people, lawyers don't care about their clients. And you gotta catch on to that, and you gotta fight. And me listening to that other IPS worker that was on the road, this is the true story. I'm listening to her, and it made me think. I make sure I know I was innocent, and I'm innocent now. I know it was a racist setup, so you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get my justice while we fighting. So when it's time for all this to end, you got to think like that. When it's time for all this to end, I can be messaging them and doing what I need to do, and you got to think like that. When you innocent and you allow the courtroom to put you in that racist mess, and you allow the community to put you in a racist situation. You have to understand that. When you know you're innocent, you got to think of that, man. You have to feel it. You have to know it. I already won the McDonald's. They're going to have to cut the check and McDonald's, God sake. We are seeing racism. Racism is by spirit, by behavior, jealousy, behavior, consequences of behavior. Yes, you can be sinning. Your lawyer cannot do nothing. Don't sit up there and let your lawyer not do nothing. Nah. So you have to understand that. You got to catch on to your law. The one thing I caught on to my lawyer, I had to realize what happened in that mall. Tax dollars. I said, hold up. That caught my attention. And they still doing it with the racism. They still have a damn problem. Y'all need to get over yourself, man. Y'all really need some help. They really need some help in Texas, bro. They really got a racial problem. They need to find it, and not just white is black is mixed. They really need to figure it out. Somebody needs to tell them. So you dealing with those things, and you dealing with that concept of it, right? All right, give me a little phantom trip. Hey, you got on a little budget. So that's the thing is I saw racism in the Holy Spirit. You gotta identify, you gotta know when somebody, you gotta know when somebody, hey, you gotta like I didn't see this, boy, look, the spirit behavior out those, boy, look, you gotta identify them. And that lady kept walking around in the police officer in Dallas courtroom. Their spirit behavior is something. God said they really got some. They really think they really smarter than God. They think they can outsmart God with lies and racism. They really think they got it all figured out. But let me go. I gotta go get me this little one cold from this thing. Nah, serious. Now I don't feel like using up all the Kool-Aid and things, man. But like, sugar in it. Hey, we're gonna work with what we have right now, right? We're gonna work with what we have right now. No, but that's the thing with that one. Nah, but that's the truth. You see racism. You observe it. When a man walk away from you, that's racism, man. Hey, it don't matter to me at the end of the day. I'm gonna get this damn. I'm gonna go get me a damn. I feel like you the sugar. You gotta, I love Kool-Aid. I'm a Kool-Aid. I'm a Kool-Aid person. And I have a problem, like literally. Now I really got a problem. And I got a call. I can't find my card. I gotta cancel the motherfucker. But yeah. Nah, serious though. Serious. You gotta observe it. Hey, I got a little talent, but trust me, I'm a very intelligent person. Long-term thinking. So it's like, so yeah. Hey, can't worry about the mindset behavior. You can't worry about the spirit behavior of others. You can identify it. I think he's a liar. The black guy is a liar. You need to know your spiritual side, and I think you need to find God because you need to identify it. He must have saw something. But I saw, let me tell you something. And he gotta look at his lawyer. His lawyer should have came at him from number one. Lawyer should have came at him. The lawyer should have told him, one thing to talk about the court procedures. It talks about the court procedures. Yeah, will you screen it tomorrow? Yeah, my name is Hugh. It talks about that plea deal, not guilty. You don't have to take it. And why did your lawyer didn't come up and tell you about the certain deal that you could have taken? He act like he didn't even know. His lawyer must have left him out on something. He didn't even know. So that's not communicating with your lawyer. Yeah. I don't think his lawyer was communicating false representation. I think that's what it was. Look, I went over the court procedures in the courtroom. Like, bam, your lawyer should tell you the plea deals that you should have. I'm serious. The Dallas courtroom, that's not being a lawyer. I had my first lawyer, Doug Schittemeyer. He actually told me about it. I didn't take it. He had like his lawyer didn't tell him anything. Then this is why I'm gonna come back to prosecute you to come back to at another, or they can take it to trial, whatever it is. But you have to. They got a lot of racism going on, man. That is racist. That means society is being racist. But they need to chill out with the racist behavior of calling people out their name. You can't expect to have one rule and check backgrounds, university backgrounds, when you're not behaving yourself as a human being and you're being racist toward disability. You can't have it that way.